Hey guys, it's me Jake from JakeMan21642. Out here running errands with my mom's car today because I'm waiting to get the windows tinted on the Civic. So my mom was off from work today and I'm off from work. So I've been driving her car around, the 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit 2.5. And I know I really don't make that many videos of this car because nothing really happens with it. Not like it's a bad car and no one ever drives it, but just, you know, nothing really happens. It passes inspection every year, gets driven, and that's about it. So long story short, for those of you who don't know, this is a 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit 2.5 four-door. This is basically fully loaded for the day. This was before the Mark 6 platform. This is the Mark 5, where the Mark 6 did offer a little bit more technology and of course the TDI engine where you could get even more things. But for what it is, this is exactly what my mom wanted, especially since it's a four-door. And the only two options it doesn't have from the factory are factory satellite radio, the automatic transmission. So walking around outside, as you can see, this one does have the black exterior, does have the alloy wheels, which this one's in rough shape around the edges because as I've said in other videos, this was when we got a flat tire in the snow and we had to continue driving for a few miles to find a place to pull over. It kind of scuffed the wheel up, but for 7-year-old, almost 8-year-old alloys, they're in really good shape. They are riding on Nexen N5000 tires. It does have two relatively new ones on the front. They are P205 55 R16s, or excuse me, it does have two relatively newer ones on the back. The ones on the front, they'll probably still pass inspection, but as you can see, this one is very badly cupped. My mom actually doesn't notice it because she drives around listening to the radio pretty loud, but I definitely noticed it's cupped. Honestly, these Nexen tires are pretty cheap. We had the OEM, we had just gotten a new set of them, Continental Conti Pro contact tires on it, which came from the factory, and the original ones lasted up to like 42,000 miles. They had absolutely no tread. And then we had a new set on it. This one's actually a little bit cupped too. And my mom got sideswiped, and it really didn't do any body damage to the car, but it did a fair amount of suspension damage, and it popped two tires. I believe it was on the driver's side. Yeah, it was. Because the one, or no, excuse me, it was the passenger side. Because my mom was going, and an Asian woman in a Corolla, that is a suicide bomb right there, was coming up the street and sideswiped her, was coming the wrong way on the wrong side of the road, and hit this side. I believe we actually did have to get a new rim. It bent it. It did a pretty decent amount of suspension damage on this side because my mom had to hop the curb. So that's how it popped two tires, because she was trying to avoid it, still kind of got clipped a little bit. But as you can see, these tires are in pretty good shape on this side. I did just wash the car today. I ran it through a car wash because day after Christmas here in Virginia, and it is 70 degrees. I don't even know why I'm wearing a jacket because I'm sweating right now. But as I mentioned, washed it. I haven't waxed it or really done anything else because all of my detailing stuff is in the Civic, which is at the tint shop right now. So that's about it for the exterior. I think it's about time to buff this headlight. As you can see, it's a little bit faded. And there are some rock chips on the hood because my mom does do a fair amount of highway driving for work. She really actually doesn't drive it that much. I mean, it's her daily driver, but she used to have stores up in Northern Virginia and Fredericksburg. And her company hired a rep for up there, so she's basically only around the city now. I think her furthest away store is Colonial Heights, which is maybe 40-45 miles from our house one way. So we'll go ahead and step inside. And I think the interior was probably my mom's biggest selling point on this car because it's just such a well-made car and it is so comfortable. It fits her very well. See, it's got a bunch of my shit in it right now. But we'll go ahead and start it up. And as you can see, it is about time for an oil change. That little light is flashing. But the car does have 80,000 miles once that stops flashing. Just rolled it a couple of weeks ago. And as you can see, it does have just your standard wheel. I mean, everything inside is basically standard Volkswagen. All four windows are automatic. Right here, this isn't like a quality issue. This is where my mom's rings from opening and closing the door have just kind of scuffed that up a little bit. But cloth is in good shape. This does get dirty sometimes, but just simple fabric cleaner takes it out. It does have real metal door handles. I mean, everything is soft touch along the dash, along the doors. Follows through in the back. Does have all four automatic windows. Your window locks to the rear and power mirrors. Headlight controls up here. And what I really like is this carbon fiber accenting inside. In the Wolfsburg Jetta, this was replaced by a really dark one, but I like the carbon fiber in this car. In the middle, all standard Mark V. This does have the premium audio system, not the top of the line, but this does have the 10 speaker system and not the 8 or 6 speaker that was standard. An excellent audio system. I have absolutely no complaints. Car does have heated seats, heated cloth seats I may add, which are amazing. And down here you do have your climate controls. This does have the satellite radio we added aftermarket, and it used to be mounted right here if you go back in some of my videos, but enough third gear shifts of it getting hit, it did fall down. So right here for now, I really like, I like it right here more. I mean, your knee does kind of bump into it, but this car does have very nice footwells. My dad hates it right here, but it's not his car. Down here, you have your ESP on and off, and inside of here, other than the cash, you have a power outlet and some more storage. Right here, as I mentioned, 5-speed manual transmission, which was the selling point of the car for my mom. She had to have a manual. She does not want an automatic. Even eventually, when she does plan to get a GTI, which I know we've been saying forever, she wants to get the 6-speed manual because she's worse than me when it comes to driving a manual. Down here, you do have 2 cup holders. You can see all the change my mom has in here because she's too lazy to get an easy pass. Right here, parking brake. And then up here, there is a padded armrest. It does tilt up, and you can extend it, but very nice and plush. Manually dimming mirror. Up here, you do have your interior lights. You do have the red glow up here, which I've talked about before. You can see the sunroof thing is getting kind of dirty. I need to hit that. But it does have the sunroof, which again was another selling point for my mom. Really wanted to have a sunroof. And up here, your mirror, and it is lighted even for the driver's side. So it's all the little German things like that you have to love in this car. So we'll go ahead, open all the doors, and pop the hood. Coming around to the back seat, as you can see in this car, this was another thing that really made us like the car, was because we were looking at a 2-door. The dealership only had one 2-door in stock, and it was they only had one 2-door that was a 5-speed in stock, and it was that hideous baby shit green color, and it had hubcaps. So we were looking at ordering a 2-door, but luckily we were able to get the 4-door. And I mean, as you can see, very easy entry and exit. I really wish I had a 4-door hatchback as much as I love my hatchback. I mean, this is where I would sit. I am 6'2", and this is how much room I have. That seat's back far because I was vacuuming it, but not to mention, it sits very up high, so your knees aren't like uncomfortably up in the air. You do have an armrest and a trunk pass-through. You do have your headrests, which are adjustable, and they're pretty plush. But it's just a great shape back seat. And also, too, since it's the 4-door, my mom has a lot of racks and displays and different things she'll use for work. She can open the door and lay them across the seat and have a perfect amount of room. One thing definitely is, speaking of the displays, one was up against here, and it's not like the Volkswagens where you never clean them and the finish peels off. It just scraped it off, but I could probably take like a gray marker or something and fix that. You do have padded armrests in the rear, and you do have padded material up here. Along with down here, you do have 2 air vents and cup holders. These always break. I mean, the covers on these always break, so this just stays down all the time. I honestly think that broke like a month after we bought the car. One thing too, getting in and out of the Jetta that we have, our 2007 Jetta, since it does have the leatherette interior, there is stitched leather right here, and this car is just plastic, but I mean, really, oh no, big deal. Coming around to the back, one of my favorite features of the car, that's how you pop the trunk. And inside of here, you can see all of my mom's work shit, which, I mean, this car can really take on some stuff. There's a bunch of boxes down here, more back here, up here. Some of these were in the back seat and I threw them here, but as you can see, all of her displays and everything for work fit perfectly fine. There's a Nerf gun underneath of there. There's like 10,000 batteries inside of there. But it all fits great in this car. You do get the cargo cover, which we actually had this replaced under, I think this was the only thing we ever did under warranty, because these will break. And I think another one of these actually did break again, and I took a lighter and melted it back together after the warranty expired. But that's it. That's pretty much the only problem we've had with the car. I mean, it's had to have the battery replaced. Ooh. Back seat on this side, same as the other side. And up front, you have a fully manual passenger seat. That is a power driver seat, power backrest. Everything else is manual. But this seat's in good shape. It kind of gets nasty around right here because my mom will set her coffee in this top cup holder, which is kind of shallow, and it will slosh around. So it's kind of stained right here and over here. I have seat cleaner, but it's in my Civic, so I'll get that later on. And over here, as you can see, it's all nice and vacuumed. This is absolutely messy, but it does have the shelf for the owner's manuals. But my mom is definitely not like my dad and I are when it comes to keeping the car clean, but she takes great care of it. And coming up underneath the probably insanely dirty engine, oh yeah, does have the 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder engine in fantastic shape and running absolutely great. So as always, this has just been a video of the Rabbit. Any questions, comments, anything like that, drop them down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe for more.